first we will write down the given data. They have given that n of A is 15, that is number of elements in set A is 15. N of A union B is 29. N of A intersection B is 7. We need to find what is N of B. Now in the last video we discussed, or we came up with a formula which says N of A union B is same as N of A plus N of B minus N of A intersection B. Now if I take N of B this side and N of A union B this side, then I will be able to solve this particular problem. Or let's write down the values. 29 is equal to 15 plus N of B is unknown, so I have written it like that, minus N of, okay, this value also we know, that is 7. Now I need to find N of B, so I will take it to the left side and write the last elements in the right side. So when 29 goes here, now there is a minus sign over here because I have taken it this side. Or else, to avoid this minus sign, let N of B remain there. Take the other elements to this side, that is 29 minus 15 plus 7 is equal to N of B. Thus we arrive at this 29 minus 15 plus 7. What is 29 minus 15? 14 plus 7 is equal to N of B. 6 plus N of B is equal to 21. Okay, very simple question. Just we need to remember this formula and substitute the values and arrive at the answer. Okay, now we will discuss question number 2.
Okay, in the question number 2, we have given that in a hostel there are 125 students. That's why I have written total 125, out of which 80 drink tea, 60 students drink coffee, and 20 students drink both tea as well as coffee. And we need to find the number of students who do not drink tea or coffee. Okay, so let's say T is the set of students who drink tea. So we have that N of T is 80. Similarly, C is the set of students who drink coffee. Then N of C is 60. And drink both means T as well as C, that is T intersection C is 20. Now we need to find the number of students who do not drink tea or coffee. That means first we will find the number of students who drink tea or coffee, and then we will find its complement or number of students in their complement set. That will give us the number of students who do not drink tea or coffee. Okay. So first, that means if I represent it using a Venn diagram, tea, coffee, and this is the intersection part. So now whole this circle contains 80 students, this whole C contains 60 students, and out of which 20 are in the intersection. Now this 60 is this 60 has 20 in it. Okay, it is not 60 plus 20. The 60 includes this 20 within it. So now we need to find the number of students who lie outside these two circles. They don't drink tea or coffee. To know that, first we should find the union. That is, what is this remaining part? Then this plus 20 and the remaining part here. For that we need to find T union C. That is N of T union C. So that we get the number of students in this without repetition. Okay. So by formula, N of T union C is equal to N of T plus N of C minus N of T intersection C. So now this has 80 plus 60 minus 20. 140 minus 20 same as 120. So number of students who drink tea or coffee is 120. That means the union set is 120. Now we need to find the number of students who do not drink tea or coffee. So we have to, from the total, we will subtract the number of students who drink tea or coffee. Then we will get the number of students who do not drink tea or coffee. So the answer is 125 minus 120, that is equal to 5. Okay. Because this, the number of students which we want to find is same as the number of students in T union C complement. Okay. Now let's do the next question. Okay. In question number 3, they have given that in a competitive exam, 50 students passed in English. So I have written E. I will use E for representing the set of students who passed in English, M for the students who passed in Maths. So by the question, N of E, that is the number of students who passed in English, is 50 and the number of students who passed in Maths is 60. And they have also given that 40 students passed in both the subjects. That means E intersection M, that means passed in English as well as in Maths. The number of such students are 40. Now we need to find the number of students who passed at least in one subject. That means they have passed in English or in Maths or in both. That means what we have to find? A union B. Not A union B, union. N of E union M. This will give us the number of students who passed at least in one subject. That is because if we see using a Venn diagram, we have E, the number of students who passed in this is E, this is M. Then, and we know this part. Okay, we need to find the number of students who passed at least in one subject. So we need to find this area plus this area and plus this area. So we need to find E union M so that we get the shaded part. That will give us the number of students who pass at least in one subject. At least in one means one or more. At least in one means minimum in one subject, and maximum here they are talking about 2. So 2. So we have to just find E union M. This is by the formula that we derived in the last lecture or in the last video. This is 50 plus 60 minus 40. 110 minus 40. That is 70. So 70 students have at least passed in one subject. Okay. Now let's do the next question. Question number 4. Okay. In question number 4, we have, or they have given that there are total of 220 students and a survey is conducted, and they are students of class 9th, and they have tried to know the hobby of the students. Okay, so there are 220 students of whom the survey is conducted, and survey is regarding 2 types of hobbies, and in which first one is a rock climbing. That means out of 220 students, 130 students like or have a hobby of rock climbing, and 180 students have a hobby of sky watching, and 110 students have both the hobbies. So I have represented R for a set of rock climbing students, and S for the set of students who have a hobby of sky watching. So R intersection S, N of R intersection S is 110. That means this many students have both the hobbies. Now we need to find, now there are 3 sub-questions in it. Sub-questions in the sense it is within the question only. So first question is, how many do not have any of the 2 hobbies? That means we need to find the number of students who do not have any of the 2 hobbies. So it is similar to what we did in the second question. That means we had to find the students who do not drink tea or coffee. So what do? We first found the union of the sets who drink tea and coffee, and then we subtracted from the total to know that how many students are not in both the sets. Now using Venn diagram we can represent it as, this is set of students who rock climb, and we have another set of students who like sky watching, and this common area forms the intersection part. Now we need to find how many do not have any of the 2 hobbies. That means they should not be in any of the circles. This should be the outside portion. So we need to find this shaded area. That means shaded with the lines. To find that, now this total area is 220 students. Within this, now we need to find what is the area of this unshaded part, so that from 220, if we subtract these circles or the unshaded part, let's suppose it is X, then we will get the shaded region. That will be the answer for this question. So what is that part? That part is nothing but the union of both. So N of R union S is equal to N of R plus N of S minus N of R intersection S, and this is same as 130 plus 180 minus 110. So it will be sorry, 310 minus 110, 200. So 200 students have at least one hobby from it. Now we need to find who do not have any of the 2 hobbies. So we will subtract, that is, we need to find that shaded region. Shaded region is equal to 220 minus 200, that is equal to 20. So how many students do not have any of the 2 hobbies? So the number of students who do not have any of the 2 hobbies is 20. Okay. Now we will discuss the second part of this question. Now this was the first sub question in the question. Now we have 2 more sub questions. Now we will discuss the second part. In the second part of the question, we are asked to find the number of students who follow the hobby of rock climbing only. That means, again I will draw a Venn diagram for better understanding. Now this is the set of rock climbing and this is the set of sky watching, R and S. So we need to find the students or number of students who follow the hobby of rock climbing only. Means they should not follow sky watching and they should strictly follow only rock climbing. How many of such students? So that means we need to find this portion. This is not whole of R because we have to avoid the common part, or we have to avoid those students who have both the hobbies. We want just those students who have R as its hobby. R means rock climbing. So, okay, so this shaded part. How we will get that shaded part? So to get that shaded part from whole of R, that is from 130, we need to subtract this common part. What is that common part? It is S intersection R. So it's equal to n of R minus n of R intersection S. That will give 130 minus 110, and that is 20. So there are 20 students who have just rock climbing as their hobby. So we got this answer to be 20. Now the third part is just like we found for rock climbing only. In the third part of the question, we need to find the students who follow the hobby of sky watching only. That means S. So how many follow the hobby of sky watching only? So here what will be the change? Here we wanted the shaded part from R. Similarly now we will want the shaded part from S. So this was S. So we need to find this part. That means we need to avoid the number of students who have both hobbies from this whole lot. So then the shaded part is n of S minus n of R intersection S. So this will give us the number of students who have just sky watching as their hobby and not rock climbing. Minus 110, and this will be 70. So there are 70 students who follow the hobby of sky watching only and nothing else. So this answer is 70. So we are done with question number 4. Now we will do the question number 5. Okay, the question number 5. Okay, this is the question number 5. I have not written the number. Okay, the question number 5 is very simple. We have to observe the Venn diagram given below and write the following sets. Okay, so I have asked first A. I have to write the set A, which is this circle, this set A. So there are X, Y, Z, M, and N. I have to write all the elements within this particular circle. Next, I need to write the set B. That means this circle. All the elements within this second circle I have to mention here. So they are P, Q, R, M, and N. Third, they have asked A union B. That means I have to just write the elements in A as well. Elements in A and B together without repetition of any elements. Okay, so they are X, Y, Z, M, N, N, P, Q, and R. Okay, the fourth sub question is U, that is the universal set. So it should contain all the elements. U means within this rectangle, all the elements we have to include in it. So first I write those outside. S comma T,
X, Y, Z, M, N, P, Q, and R. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 elements. Okay. Now fifth sub question is A complement. What is A complement? A complement means all the elements which are outside this circle. Outside the circle. So this P, Q, R, S and T. P, Q, R, S, T. And sixth sub question is like A complement I have to find B complement. So all the elements outside this circle. So X, Y, Z, S and T. X, Y, Z, S and T. Next, A union B complement. That means all the elements which are in A, which are in U but are not in A union B. That means we have to find the elements which are not in A union B but they are in U. Which are those elements? S, T. Rest all elements are there in A union B. Using Venn diagram, if you observe, A union B means this circle with this common part subtracted, right? So outside it, outside these two figures, whatever elements we have will be in A union B complement. So the sixth sub question is A union B complement is equal to, it has only two elements, that is S, T. Okay, so now we have done, this is the last question of the practice set 1.4 and that was the last practice set of the chapter. Now we have problem set in this chapter, but I won't be discussing it now. I feel it's really simple, and actually first few questions are just MCQ or multiple choice questions, and there are two word problems just like we solved in the 1.4 exercise, and then there are questions related to Venn diagram, and I think they are quite simple. If you face any difficulty in solving the problem set, please mention in the comment section so that those problems I will discuss in a separate video. And now I'm done with this chapter. Stay tuned for my next video. Okay, thank you.